Well, hello and welcome to the Friday night update. 20 minutes later than planned, but we're here. So, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Uh, I'm here with Gao. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Oh, way better now that I'm finished work and I'm off for the weekend, that's for sure.
Alrighty.
Man, that was a stressful day. Good grief. Typical Friday, all the heaviest parcels need to be delivered by the weekend, so they go out on Friday. Oh, horrific. Anyway, that's all done and dusted. We are now looking at week 47 update, and we are talking about open world, which is here survival with persistence. Jump into open world and play Icarus with full persistence, the full map, and no timer. That sounds good.
Yeah, to an extent, indeed.
Right, okay. Alrighty. Uh, would you be so good as to kick us off, please?
Sure. So the open world's finally here. This week we are releasing the highly anticipated traditional survival mode, with both the Styx and Olympus maps available to play. This has been one of the most requested and discussed features by our player community. When you start a session, you'll be given a variety of drop locations, difficulty options, and challenges such as world bosses, storms, and hordes to overcome. With full persistence and multiple sessions being able to be saved simultaneously, the planet can be conquered any way you wish. Below we also talk about the future of open world and our other big upcoming feature, dedicated servers. Jump in and get all the details you need before launching into Icarus and beginning your newest challenge. So actually, looking at the open world mode, difficulty settings, yes, easy, medium, hard.
Good.
Uh, Basically the normal, right? So uh, okay, let's see if I quickly act like I'm gonna claim one. You have your normal loadout, then you have a couple of drop points you can select, a couple of fixed locations.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything yet about the other things like respawning world bosses or storm weather severity and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that is somehow tied to the easy, medium, and hard mode. Although the modifiers do not really say anything about this. So I'm not sure where you can where this variety of challenges such as world bosses, storms, and hordes, where this is being displayed or how you can select it, how you can choose it. No
Right,
idea.
okay. Well, maybe you choose it once you've landed. I don't know. Can you choose it once you've landed?
I have no idea.
Hmm. That's a weird one.
I'm also not sure where the open world data is going to be saved. Because sure, I went into my outpost, which has been converted to open world, as will be mentioned later in the patch notes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really see anything pointing towards like, hey, this is for your new open world. Maybe
Right.
once I like really drop down, it will create something. Because I have not checked that specific. But
Okay.
I mean, I can quickly do if I say drop me here and go in, and I can see whether or not it's gonna create some files for it. Anyway, key features. Open world will provide the traditional survival experience, placing you in a battle against the elements and predators of the planet. Your sole objective is to survive Icarus' challenges as long as you can. You will be able to choose between either the full 64 square kilometer Olympus map, previously available as an outpost, or the full Styx map for your open world session.
Ooh.
Multiple drop points in different biomes will be available for you to select. Your session, buildings and resources will be persistent, with no timer or expiry to worry about. Storms may damage your buildings, but only while you are playing.
Well, that's good to know.
Okay, let's see. The open world file is in the same location as the outpost files.
Okay.
Alrighty. Let me just return to station because why not? So, right. Multiple drops in different biomes. Indeed, the first time you create an open world, you have a couple of fixed locations where you can actually drop down.
Mm-hmm.
For Styx, it is, and obviously I just went back up and didn't all write it down, but it's the Northwest Arctic, Northwest Desert. It's the center forest biome, actually the same location as yesterday's drop. There is one in the eastern Arctic, I believe. There's one at the Ring Lake. Yeah. No, not the eastern Arctic. It's the southern Arctic. There's one
Okay.
at the Ring Lake, with all the crocs and stuff.
Yep.
And there's one in the southeastern desert.
Okay. Cool.
I can quickly check for the Olympus one. Open world, Olympus, create new one. Oh. Okay, what do we have? We have one in Riverland, so northwest forest.
Mm-hmm.
We have one in the central Arctic, top half. We have one in the southwest desert, and we have one in the normal starter location in the southeast forest biome, near the triangle lake with the big island.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing in the northeast desert and nothing in the southeast Arctic.
Okay.
And yeah, like I said, I have not seen anything about weather settings or world boss settings or anything like that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's continue with the patch notes itself, shall we?
Yes.
The planet is rife with danger, storms, respawning world bosses, nice, hordes, and scaling predators across the landscape, along with fierce storms to contend with. You're able to choose your difficulty just like Outposts, but there is no option for a threat-free environment, so always be on your toes. Your friends can join you on your open world, following you onto the planet in the same drop point you choose. And you'll find moa and buffalo across the biomes for taming as pets and transport.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With a 64 square kilometer to explore, resources are abundant. Deep ore deposits can be found, so there's a wealth of ore to smelt and craft. Workshop items can be brought down to the surface and taken back with you to space. So returning to grab necessary gear is as easy as leaving and returning in your dropship. Multiple open world sessions can be hosted, so if you feel like taking a different approach, starting somewhere different, or simply testing yourself under different difficulty settings, you can simply start a fresh session from the menu. Resources are abundant unless you decide to go full ham with concrete buildings, because that uses a ton and a half of iron.
Yeah.
But
And
okay,
we don't know if the resources respawn at this point, so.
they do not, or at least that's currently they do not.
Okay.
Let me actually put down the volume of my phone so people don't get confused. Like, hey, I'm getting a message. No, it was my phone. Anyway, so yeah,
That sounds interesting. Well, here we have
uh,
an
yeah,
here we have an image that we've had before of a player in the what I believe is the scorpion armor.
yep, scorpion armor with all the spikes.
Hmm.
Yes.
And that looks like a scorpion bow.
Might be a cave bow, might be a scorpion bow. They're the same, only difference is color and
Yeah,
effect. But you can't see the effects. Yeah. But it might indeed very well be a full scorpion geared player.
yeah. Okay. How to
Right.
play. Open world can be found on our new look home screen on the left hand list of game modes. Once selected, you can carry out an existing session or start a new one.
Yeah.
You
Where
you can
you previously had missions, outposts, and prospects, you now have open world missions, outposts, and join prospect.
cool, cool.
So basically, the prospects is now split in missions and join. Mission is like start, and join is join, obviously.
Hmm. Yeah, well that's good. Okay, let's carry on. You can select your dropship's landing location when you create a new game session. There are a range of different sites on the map in different biomes with varying resources. Beware, once you've chosen a drop point, this will be where your dropship will leave from and return to every time you join the session. So pick one near where you plan on establishing your base.
A nice detail on those locations. If you select them in your new open world thingy, and hey, so okay, let me see, is this something nice to land? It's actually telling you, like, hey, it's cold or it's hot or it's comfortable with colors and everything.
Oh,
The
nice.
amount, the amount of water within the drop zone, the amount of trees, ores, aggressive and passive creatures, rocks, oxides, food. So if you click through the drop zones, you'll see some values going red. It says like low on oxides, low on trees, low on war, things
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
And the ring lake, for example, is high on aggressive creatures. Yeah, duh. It's swarming with crocs.
Yeah, we know from experience.
Yep. It's a nice detail, especially for people who haven't played in those areas yet, or haven't played much in those areas yet. At least before you drop down there, you already have kind of an idea of like, okay, this is a location where there's not a whole lot of oxide, so I better start running around looking for oxide and grab everything I can. Or, I'm not that good a player yet. Let's go for a location with like medium aggressive creatures instead of high, things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
And
that.
and especially for those who are new to the game, that is
Yeah,
quite critical information.
exactly. Hey,
Hey,
Jason.
Jason.
Yep. And Jason, you were right on what you said last night. This one is indeed uh, the outpost. It has been converted to open world. Yeah, he says, I really hope they respawn oxide. I know. That's gonna be. It's pretty essential. Uh, and it is. Yeah, if it doesn't respawn, you are gonna run out of oxide at some point. Which is not the best thing to do.
No.
But then again, the whole idea here is your sole objective here is to survive Icarus' challenges as long as you can. So, how long can you hold your breath?
Yeah. Jason says, kind of, yeah, I do like to breathe.
Yep.
And he says, to holding his breath, not long.
Yeah. So yeah, go for an oxide dissolver as quickly as possible, and actually go for the electric one because it uses even less oxide. So at least you can hold out a bit longer.
Yeah, but the electric one takes way more resources to build. So there's a downside to that.
Uh, been not that much actually.
Really?
It isn't too bad.
Hmm.
I can have a quick look in the Tet 3.
Well, it's going to need
It's
electronics, that's for sure.
true.
And
Let's see where it is. They should put kind of a search function in the Tet 3. Metal oxide dissolver. 12 steel, 4 glass, 24 copper, 12 epoxy, and 20 electronics.
now you see, there's the catch. 20 electronics.
True, 20 electronics. So you need a bit of gold and copper, a fair amount of copper actually, because you also need 24 copper. But there is more copper in the game than there is oxide. Yeah, it's indeed the one that uses biofuel, Jason. It's a faster and more efficient biofuel-powered oxidizer with greater storage. There is no tier 4 dissolver though. So yeah, the tier 3, the biofuel one, is the best you can get. The metal oxide dissolver. But yeah, I would definitely go for that one ASAP. I mean, after all, it's you have the entire map. You have no time limit, so you have the time to mine the resources for this apparatus.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if you get bored of gathering resources, you can, you know, go and do a mission or something.
True. And once you've mined all the oxide from the entire map, you will have to abandon it and start a new one.
Yeah.
Uh, Another thing though, plants also do not respawn. So if you want to maintain an amount of mounts, you're gonna need crop plots. And then it's very handy if you have someone like Echo who can make crop plots where food doesn't wither.
Yeah.
So that talent becomes, for the open world, a bit more important. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
know that from experience that it's always a good idea to try and grow stuff in your outpost because it,
Oh
it
yeah.
it basically means that you don't have to go searching the map for whatever it is you're looking for.
Exactly.
You only have to bring one back.
Yeah. So you
You
only
know.
have to go to the desert once for some squash. Only go to the Arctic once for a mushroom.
Hmm.
And Jason says, "I want to rebuild all the construction missions on my open world." Sure. Especially if they are in different locations, so you can source the resources locally.
Yeah, yeah. Jason also says I plant food on all my missions. Are you specced into gardening like myself? Then Jason, because if you are, I mean, I have that. I have the gardening tree, and it goes all the way down to the bottom to the point where I have 4 food slots. Um, and Jason says yes, all my guys are good.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Um, and the one thing to note is that your crop plots, if you gather the resources out of the crop plot and put all of them into the planting bit, right, they will not spoil.
Only if you have the freshest best talent.
Yes. But that's why I was asking whether or not he
Yeah.
was specced into the gardening, because if you have the talent tree all the way down to the bottom, then you'll have the best of the growing talents.
Oh, it doesn't
Um,
spoil, period, Jason? I thought it was only if the crop plot was crafted by someone with the freshest best talent.
no, this
Huh. I could test it out by crafting a crop plot myself and check something in the seed slots and see whether or not it spoils.
yeah. The good thing about that though is the fact that if you're in a mission where um sorry, my
Stockpile
phone
missions, especially indeed, where
yeah,
you have to
you
gather
need
a
yeah, you need a
gazillion
lot
pumpkins.
of stuff. Yeah. It's very, very easy to just pick it out of the, here's your fruit box and stick it in the seed box and just leave it there. And the best thing about that is that crop plots can be made in the crafting bench, so it's tier one. And oh, I was going to say something there.
Depending on the crop plot, but yeah,
Well, yeah, depending if you're making the wooden ones, with wooden sulfur, then
yeah,
you're good. But it then means that you don't need to worry about running into the Arctic to get ice, so that you can make an ice box to keep your vegetables good. Because if you have enough crop plots, you can use them as
it's storage.
a
Yeah.
storage. Yeah. So you'll have to forgive. I'm absolutely exhausted, and my brain is still traveling around the top end of the country. Oh my God,
Anyway,
it's nuts.
where were we on
We were
the?
here.
You'll have the drop point choices in every biome. So use your experience in missions and outposts to plan accordingly for what you might need to survive in the harsher climates. Yep. Once
Yeah.
selected, begin your session and let the games begin.
Hmm. It's
Uh,
gonna be interesting. That's an interesting build, isn't it? In that image underneath
well,
with
it kind of looks like what was the Alcazar or the high rise, the one in Styx.
high rise,
Yeah, the high rise. Kind of
because
looks like what we
you've
built in high rise.
yeah, because you've got
Kinda.
to build it 6 stories high. you've got to use glass and you've got to have braziers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
that looks like that one. Um,
including in like forest fire included.
yeah.
Uh,
Jason says, I don't know if you've had this happen, Echo, but I have had stacks of veggies disappear when I quick slot the seed.
Control
Yes,
click.
I now drag the seed the food to the seed slot now. Yes, I have had that. I actually have a clip which I'll be using in one of the Triple F videos. Um, and that is I picked up, let me see if I can remember this right. I picked up out of the crop plot, it was pumpkins, no, watermelons. I had 18 watermelons and I'd quick transferred them from there into my inventory and then quick transferred them back into the crop plot, and only 4 watermelons went into the crop plot, but I took 18 out, so I lost 14 watermelons in the space of 2 seconds.
I
So
know
yes,
you like to eat, but
I have
that's a
had
bit much.
I have had that happen.
Wow, Jason lost 58 squash that way. I was livid. Yeah, I can definitely understand that, my man. I can definitely understand that. 58 squash.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna suck. 'Cause they are hard to come by.
Anyway, let's continue.
Yes, please do take us into the open world missions and outposts, if you please,
Yep.
Carney.
So with 3 game modes now, we want to provide a simple breakdown of each mode's unique features. Open world is the traditional survival experience. With persistence, a full map and scaling difficulty, it's raw, authentic survival at its most pure. Missions are our time-limited, curated experiences on Icarus, challenging you to complete various tasks across the surface, under contract by the factions, and they're meant to be left behind when completed. Currently, currently, they're the only way to mine exotics and earn Ren, so you can buy workshop gear. Outposts are the smaller 1 by 1 square kilometer sandbox building environments with regenerating resources and options for a threat-free experience where you can build, create and experiment to your heart's desire. Here's a nice overview of the key differences. So, timed missions obviously only in missions.
Yeah.
The full map for the open world and for the missions. Full map for some of the missions, yes. Not for the
Yes.
outposts, because they're like the separate small 1 by 1 square kilometer maps.
Yep.
Open worlds and outposts are persistent. Sorry. Open world is the only one where you can choose your drop zone. Missions is the only way to get exotics. World bosses
Yes.
are in both open world and in missions.
Mm-hmm.
Unique blueprints you can only acquire in the missions, like the Caveworm bow, Caveworm weaponry, Sandworm weaponry, armor, Scorpion armor weaponry, the Black Wolf stuff,
Yep.
all that stuff. You can only acquire those blueprints in certain missions.
Yep.
Regenerating resources is only in outposts, but it comes with a reduced experience. Actually depends on your difficulty mode.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
might be, and I can quickly check that if you go for an no, it's for all. It's minus 75% experience gain. So I thought maybe difficulty level was a difference there, but it is not.
No.
So you only gain 25% of your normal experience in an outpost. But
Yeah.
then again, it does have the option for the safe sandbox mode, as in like you start a new outpost in easy mode. is minus 100% spawn rate for predators.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's see, mounts are
Are
not
not.
available in Outpost,
Yeah.
only in open world and missions. The
Mm-hmm.
same goes for Horde mode. And the deep ore deposits also not in the outposts. So previously in the big outpost, the Olympus outpost, you had Horde, or at least you had the geezers. You had mounts,
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, the deep ore deposits. But the big outpost is no longer there. Everyone's big outpost got uh, migrated or converted to an open world.
Mm-hmm.
And in the remaining small outposts, there's no mounts, no geysers, no deep ore deposits, nothing of that. No world bosses.
Yeah.
So, many of you have been wondering why add persistence to the game now. Here's what Adam Johnson, the design lead, said about it. Open world has been one of the most popular community requests for Icarus for a long time, and is traditionally how most survival games are structured. We frequently have conversations with players about ideas on how to structure Icarus, how to mix missions and open world, how to introduce aspects of persistence, and more. We originally launched Icarus with a unique mission-based approach to survival games, which aimed to break up sprawling sandbox experiences into more focused sessions. However, many people just don't want to rebuild a base so frequently, or want their time and effort to be permanent and meaningful. So while we want to keep our unique missions, adding new modes like open world helps cater for those who want something a little more traditional when it comes to the genre. This is not simplifying our approach of or flipping on what we intended the game to be. It's an expansion towards a feature-rich game that caters for more players regardless of how you prefer to play. Yes, Icarus always with this mission-based approach was different from other survival games.
Yeah.
Open world is kinda a bridge between Icarus and the classic open world, the classic survival game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, I know people don't want to rebuild a base every single mission, so hey, here's your open world.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, right? I can see the point completely.
Yep,
People don't want to rebuild the same thing all the time. But I have to be honest and say that's actually one of the things that attracted me to Icarus because you went on a mission, you had to start from scratch every single time.
yep,
And I grew to love the game and I accepted the fact that it's mission based and part of that mission is to be dropped onto a planet with what you take with you and you have to survive on the planet and that means you have to build.
yep.
But I totally understand that not everybody wants to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's getting like a routine nowadays. Like you drop down, you pick up stuff, you build a base, and then you go do your mission.
Yeah.
So the first hour and a half, 2 hours or so is base building, and then there you go.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna start with the actual mission.
Yeah, base building and resource gathering.
So Jason initially hated the non-persistence, but now he wouldn't play without it.
Yeah.
Indeed,
Yeah.
you get accustomed to it. Like
Yeah.
it grows on you, and now you're like, hey, now it's part of the Icarus game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
luckily we have the outpost and now the open world for if we want to do big buildings. I mean, You could do it already in the exploration missions, but they ended after 30 days.
Yeah,
Now they will stay even after the 30 days.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, in my
And yeah,
in my outpost, we were actually experimenting to see if we could actually put a roof over the entire thing and have the whole lot sheltered.
yep. We started with that. We did a bit,
Yeah.
but it's a ton of work.
Oh my God, it's a ton of work. But
It's fun
it's,
though.
oh yeah, it's interesting to see if you can take, um, you can actually enclose it from the highest point to the highest point,
Yeah.
or whether, or whether or not you have to kind of like stagger the height as you go down,
It
I
would
don't know, say,
mean you don't have to worry about weather events no more.
yeah. I mean, the other thing is that my outpost actually has two buildings in it. It's got the glass upside down pyramid, and then it's actually got that other the
The
first
cube,
base that you built up the
the
mountain,
board cube.
halfway up the mountain.
Ah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Mount View we called it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man, you should check my open world. Well, actually, there's no new mission, so we'll do gameplay in my open world, and I'll show you my new mountain base,
cool.
the big one.
Alrighty,
So
alrighty.
yeah, I can understand how they wanna like people who don't like the repetitive part might now be more interested in playing Icarus. Now they have the open world feature.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see how it plays out.
Alrighty. Let's continue.
Right.
The future of open world. With this being the first iteration of open world, we thought we'd talk about some of the future features we'd like to add. Resource regeneration is already something players have asked for. In Outposts, resources respawn each time you join, so you have ample building blocks for truly creative builds. In Open World, we still want you to work for and earn your resources. For a persistent environment, immersion is important, and therefore any signs of regeneration should feel natural and subliminal. This is an area we'll closely watch player feedback for.
And actually, I've been talking with Rodnop about this whole resource regeneration. I've been talking a bit on Discord with him. By the way, Jason says, I wonder if you could build a covered road from biome to biome, or would creatures destroy it? Well, if you make it an elevated covered road, say on beams, animals will basically ignore it, Jason. Build it from stone so you don't have to worry about weather events, and yes, you can do it that way. Make it too high so you can bunny hop through it. It'll work.
Yeah, yeah,
So as for the resource respawning, we were talking a bit about it. Like Rodnop mentioned, like they were talking about a natural respawn, like one or two threes or ores respawn over time.
hmm,
And I was thinking, like trees. We have shrubs, we have bushes, we have small trees, and we have big trees. If they wanna like regenerate, so to say, the trees, go from small trees to big trees. Let them grow to big trees. And maybe some bushes grow into small trees into big trees. That would
yeah,
feel like a natural way of regenerating the wood resource.
yeah,
Also, if there is a forest fire and you end up with basically an empty piece of land with only a couple of burned trees, which you cut down for charcoal if you want, let it cover with shrubs. Let those shrubs grow into bushes, into small trees, into big trees. a natural way of getting the wood resource back.
Yeah.
Minerals is gonna be a whole different story though. So we were talking a bit about the deep mining. Deep ore mining will become more important in this open world
Mhm.
because you need bigger sources of resources. So Rotnop never had an issue where a deep vein ran out. I can tell you, I've had multiple deep veins run out on me already in my outpost. But after a couple of hundred resources mined, then it ran dry.
Yeah.
Those deep veins, they could respawn over time, uh, making the mineral content last longer.
Yeah.
Although there is no deep ore vein for oxide or for titanium, and oxide is definitely going to be an issue.
Mhm.
And then he was talking about meteor showers. So basically, might be an interesting idea as well, you know.
Yeah.
Meteor shower, like what's the game called? Let me quickly check. Planet Crafter, for
Yeah.
example.
Yep. That's yeah. I
Uh,
was actually just thinking that sounds awfully Planet
yeah,
Crafter esque.
yeah. Meteor showers, which leaves nodes of minerals behind.
Yeah.
So that could also be a way to renew mineral resources.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, if you build concrete, right,
Mhm.
you will run out of iron because you need a ton of iron for concrete buildings.
Yeah.
6 iron ore for one steel. Steel bloom goes into 20 rebar. However, you already use like 8 rebar for a concrete beam. Silica indeed, Jason, but it feels like I'm running out of iron before I'm running out of silica. So luckily both of those resources there are deep veins off. However, I've checked like half the forest biome my base is in with a deep ore scanner from the workshop, specifically scanning for a silica deep vein. No luck. I have run 2 of them dry already in my outpost because I've been building quite a bit of concrete. But yeah, I haven't found a third one yet, unfortunately. But yeah, deep vein mining will become way more important now in open world.
Yeah. Very much so.
So yeah, I hope there will be some kind of resource regeneration.
Yeah. It'll.
Otherwise, like we've discussed about before, you will run out of resources in your open world at some point.
Yeah. But I mean, they have already said that they are looking at implementing resource respawn. It's just not going to happen yet.
True, true. So yeah, I do hope. Yeah, I expect it will come in some way. Let's hope it will be. It will be enough. I mean, I don't mind if I have to travel like, say, 2 clicks or so for resources. However, without a resource respawning, having to travel across the map,
Oh, we've
which, by the
travelled across the
way,
map for resources before, though.
exotics, yes, but not building resources. And then we
We've
only create a
travelled
couple of
across the
hundred
map for food.
in stockpile missions, maybe, but
Mm,
and
mm,
the exotics is only a couple of hundred. but I'm now talking about thousands of ore.
Yeah.
I have to say though, the Moa is a very nice mount. Base, it can carry what, 300 kilos?
I thought it was 100
Uh,
kilos to
or
start
it
with.
was initially the first iteration. I have no idea what it is now, 100 or 300. It doesn't really matter. Even if you load up all your inventory slots with heavy stuff, and you weigh like 1,000 kilos, you go sit on a Moa. The Moa is like, I'm fine. I'm not overweight,
Yeah, I'm
and
not
it
overweight.
and it still moves very fast.
Yeah, so you can be overburdened, but they can't.
Exactly. Yeah, they can if you put too much heavy stuff in their saddles.
Yeah, no, what I mean is,
But it is not counting the player weight and the player inventory weight. So there's a way to cheese it.
yeah, so cheese it while you can because I sense that fix is coming soon.
Uh, this is one of the cheese methods one of the few cheese methods I actually hope they do not fix.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the one
Especially
that,
in open world, if you have to travel long distances and for your resources, so you don't want to have to travel too many times. So you want to haul as much as possible in one go. In this situation, this cheesing method is very handy.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
tried with the bison as well. With the saddled bison, it's nice as well. Not as fast as the Moa though.
No,
On the other hand, if you are attacked by a predator, at least a bison can do this charging attack, and I'm not sure a Moa even does have an attack uh, after it is tamed.
no, but I don't think the mower has that because it can run like the wind.
I have not yet tried outrunning a bear. I am outrunning wolves and cougars and obviously scorps, hyenas. I have not checked it against a bear though. I kinda not really want to do it.
Well, I can understand that.
Although I have been dancing with a bear. Just got off my moa to pick up some food. Then all of a sudden I was like face to face with a bear. So I was dancing with a bear and the moa was watching and looking like, okay, let's see what happens. I won though. So
Good.
anyway,
Alrighty, let's
let's
continue.
continue.
We expect players may want to switch between open world and missions, where they can mine exotics, focus on a mission goal, and earn ren towards buying workshop items. On open world, they may choose to work towards tier 4 tech instead. We're
Yep.
looking at ways to integrate mission and open world sessions in future, starting as such as starting some missions from your open world base. We're designing our next DLC's map with this in mind. More details coming soon, but check the future content in our patch notes for a preview.
Yeah, for the whole tier 4 tech, yes. In missions, you only do it when you need it.
Yeah,
Like where it says you have to provide this apparatus with water. So you need to build a water pump, which is tier 4. And which needs composites, if I'm not mistaken. Does it? I don't know. Anyway, you need tier 4. Only if you need tier 4 for the mission, you're going there. Otherwise, it's basically a waste of time.
yeah.
No composites for the water pump, luckily.
Hmm.
But yeah, in your outpost, and there's also in your open world, why not? Just go for it. I mean, why not? You have the time. So,
Yeah.
also, titanium tools in general have higher yield, Then lower tier tools. Titanium is a tier 4 material. You need the fabricator to process titanium. So yeah, you want to make the most of the resources in your open world. You're going full titanium, for which you do need a tier 4 tech.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna at this point let you know that my YouTube studio is doing the reload circle. So yeah, chat has just been disconnected. So I'm gonna refresh the page, and if we lose the stream, we'll have to start it again.
Well, I can check whether or not the where's my phone? Here's my phone. Whether or not the chat's still working.
Well, I have a message saying chat disconnected.
Because if you reload the stream, you might lose the current stream. It might start another
Oh
stream.
crap!
As for the chat, yeah, Jason is testing the chat. It's still working.
Good, good. What
But what
the
did you
hell?
break?
Um, my YouTube studio just disappeared.
Well, hey, the stream is still there, so
Okay, well, let me know if it disappears because, yeah, Corny,
I'll
you,
I'll keep an eye on it.
yeah,
Don't
you're
worry.
gonna have to because I don't even have the YouTube page to, like do anything with the stream.
Yeah, I have it on one of my screens. I have the stream up, so
Good. Okay. Alrighty. Would you take us through the last paragraph, please?
sure. We have many plans for all three modes, but large features and overhauls take a considerable amount of time, and we have a limited number of staff that can work on all these features and optimizations, while still working towards the DLC and optimizing the base game also. One of these optimizations or overhauls is the data decentralization or dedicated servers, which is something we want to get right so the transition is smooth from the current application to the new one. We are finalizing this process and getting ready for a public test soon. Yeah, please have it right the first time. First time right. Otherwise, you're gonna get a shitstorm again if they mess up the launch of dedicated servers.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep an eye on the chat for me as well because I can't see that
Yeah,
either.
sure, no problem,
Yeah,
no
my
problem.
YouTube studio page is down, so
That's fine. I'll keep an
it's
eye on
weird
it.
because the studio page says that I'm not connected to the internet, and yet I'm having a conversation with you and looking at the.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So
Just the studio, which is like a bit lost. Don't worry.
okay, okay,
Uh, so yeah, like I said, I'm glad they are working towards getting this dedicated servers first time right. And hey,
yes.
getting ready for a public test soon. Yay!
Ooh, gonna look forward to that.
Oh yeah!
Woo-hoo-hoo. Ooh yeah.
This looks like a
Oh,
Styx image, by the way.
oh,
That river.
oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway.
that that looks like the Riverlands.
Nah. For me, it more looks like Styx. I don't know, more open.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, now
Yeah.
we're into
Jason
the
says you
detail.
might need to reboot Echo after the patch notes discussion, Jason.
Yeah, yeah. After the patch notes. Um. Alrighty.
So yeah, the changelog, new content, a lot about the new open world feature.
Yeah.
Let's see. Renamed Olympus Prospect from Daylight Olympus to just Olympus, and is now an open world Olympus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the bullet point below is like a couple of bullet points in one. GeForce sent an updated driver today. I haven't seen that driver update yet, Jason. I might have to have a look at that at some point. Anyway. Added 3 more icons for the drop selection. Indeed, is like this arrow-ish icon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, is there anything new not related to the open world? Not really. Like you see some bullet points here about like how they disabled the juvenile spawning on a per prospect base, so it doesn't spawn in outposts. It only spawns in open world and in missions.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bullet point somewhere where it said disabled the buffalo spawn in outpost entirely to make sure you didn't get the mounts in the outpost. And then later on was the one where like we fix it and now the juveniles don't spawn no more.
Okay.
So yeah, new content, basically open world.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Alrighty,
Yeah,
let's have a
removed the Olympus. Hold. But at the new content about halfway. Remove the Olympus outpost and existing saves are migrated to Olympus open world. And I checked, my outpost is now indeed available under open world.
good.
Fixes! Let's go check some fixes, shall we?
Yes, please.
Remove a ton of unused content from the developers and TRD folders to declutter the projects. Yeah, again, like clean it up a bit so it's less confusing. You don't need it, remove it.
Yeah.
Basically housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
Some tweaks to the trees falling in water sounds. Also fixing the spatial area min-max to be the same as the events on a few events. Yeah. Nice writing. Let's see. Hook up new screen hit effects strength option to associated events in the character blueprint. Screen hit effects strength. Okay. Add an option slider for screen hit effect strength in the gameplay menu, which controls the strength of the screen effect when hitting a target or being hit by a target. Actually, if I go to the settings gameplay, let's see if I can find that one, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, screen hit effects strength. Like if you are hit, like the screen flashes or something, or shaking, I think like that.
Yeah.
It's a slider, goes from 0.0 to 2.0, and by default it's on 1.0.
Okay.
Yeah, controls the strength of the screen effects when hitting a target or being hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll hit you with a pickaxe and then you can see what happens. For science, obviously, huh?
Okay.
Remove the dev meta reveal item and converted it to cheat function instead. So again, and dev meta reveal. Yeah, again for developers for previewing stuff.
Yeah.
So instead of a meta reveal item, it's now converted cheat function to access it. Sure.
Fair enough.
We shouldn't be seeing it anyway, so
Yeah. Exactly.
fix some texture lot group settings changes not being applied to all the Windows profile groups, causing cooked assets to not be optimized. Okay, basically texture for cooked meals.
Yeah, yeah.
Some massive project content cleanup from developer and third-party folders, clearing out unused content. Again, housekeeping.
Yeah, yeah.
Modified the show repair warning logic in the player character to be a separate event, so it can be called externally. The next one. Damaged buildings can no longer be upgraded without first being repaired.
We couldn't upgrade damaged
All the
build.
way, well, way back in the beginning we could not. Indeed, you first had to repair before you could upgrade. However, at some point, it became possible to upgrade a damaged wood wall, upgrade it to a stone wall. The wood wall in your inventory still showed the degraded state, the damaged state,
Right.
but you were able to like replace it straight away with the building upgrade hammer. Apparently they now apparently that was like unintentional and they fixed it now. I was like, thank you, quality of life feature, but apparently it was a bug.
Yeah. So now you got to say bye bye quality of life feature.
Yeah, bye bye quality of life bug.
Jason, yeah. Oh, I've got my studio back, and I've just seen Jason's
Good.
message come up. So he says it would be nice if we just had one hammer.
Yeah, but then you would need a way to switch between the functions, Jason. Switch between building and repairing. So what? Do you need first to press R to select function? Then if you select upgrade, press R again to select a material, or
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. Just have a slot for, like flipping back and forth, flipping back and forth between repairing and building.
yeah, but it would also mean that you would need like two radials, one for function, and then if you select the function upgrade, then a radial for which material to upgrade to.
Well,
So if you want to use it as an upgrade hammer, you have to press R twice. You know what? It's just 6 stone and a stick or something. I'll make a second hammer.
hmm.
Plus, once your building is upgraded, you don't need it no more. So yes, you will be carrying 2 hammers for a bit. Once your building is upgraded, you are back to 1 hammer again. So
Yeah, you're pretty much set after that, really, aren't you?
exactly. Uh, Jason is always grabbing the upgrade hammer when he's trying to fix. Uh, I basically always have the repair hammer in slot 7, hotbar 7, and the upgrade hammer in if I'm carrying it in hotbar 8. So I know press 7 to repair.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I want
you
to upgrade
if
now, press 8.
yeah, but the other thing is that you'll quite often leave the upgrade hammer in the masonry bench. So if
True,
somebody else is doing the upgrading, they know where to find it.
true. But if I'm carrying both, like the repair hammer is always in 7. If I'm carrying an upgrade hammer, it's in 8.
Yeah.
So I'm basically never grab the wrong hammer. Because it's an automatism. Oh, I need to repair, press 7 and left click.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Jason says I just built in stone, no more problems. Uh, well, you need to go for, in order to build stone, you need a masonry bench, which needs shelter to work, and the anvil and the furnace.
Yeah, but you
Uh,
could start out in a cave though, eh?
yeah, so then you have to start out in a cave, and then you can build stone straight away through.
we've always done it. We've, built with wood and upgraded to stone.
Yeah,
And then if needs be, and usually
concrete.
only due to weather,
Yeah,
we'll
we have had it.
upgrade again to
Yeah,
concrete.
we have had it once where we skipped the stone phase completely and we went from wood straight to concrete
Yeah,
to save on resources.
yeah, we did. And it was a good call
There's only
too,
once.
actually.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so fix some naming conventions of booleans added to the code as per the internal ticket ID, the upsource ID, something.
Hmm.
You haven't done concrete yet, Jason? Well, if you have the severe weather in a mission, it will damage stone. Stone has a lot of durability, so it'll hold out a couple of storms, but you will need to repair it at some point. So in those missions, we go for concrete.
Yeah,
Now you can cheese it by only building a concrete roof and half pieces overhang. They protect the entire wall underneath it, at least 2 stories.
yeah,
I haven't really tried higher buildings because we actually only built 2 stories high.
yeah.
But
We
a
only ever used two stories.
yeah, but you can. Uh, I have not tried it with like thatch walls and a concrete overhang. Whether or not the concrete overhang also protects thatch. It does protect glass walls. It
Yes,
protects stone walls. So
yes,
yeah, you can cheese it with just the half pieces overhang, but uh, aesthetically not so pleasing. So if you go for concrete, I just go full out concrete.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, you have needed in Olympus. Well, there are before the difficulty selector, there were, I believe, 2 missions or so in Olympus as well, which had severe weather conditions.
I do believe that one of those was Voyager Recovery.
I don't know anymore which ones, but there were a couple of missions, not many, but just a few. I believe like 2, maybe 3, which had built-in severe weather.
Yeah,
Nowadays, with the difficulty selector, you can just go for normal, and in Olympus you don't have the severe weather conditions, as far as I know. Uh, as for stone, Jason says I just do the roof in stone with an overhang, then the rest wood. Yeah, the stone will protect the stone overhang will protect the wooden walls.
yeah. The downside to that, though, is if you have a severe storm, you still have to fix the stone.
Yeah. Also, fire hazard.
Yes,
Uh, it
which
wasn't
is
me.
which is the other reason why we will convert to stone as soon as we can, because it then means that the entire base is so less likely to go up in flames.
And the third reason for stone is animals, predators.
Yes, yes,
They chew through wood pretty quickly. Wood has durability of 1000, stone has 2500
yeah.
from the
Two and
top
a,
of my head.
yeah, two and a half. Well, 1.5 times as strong.
2.5 times as strong.
Yeah, 2.5 times as strong. Sorry, my brain's not working right.
So yeah, that's also a reason to go to stone. Uh, Olympus, it's doable in wood. Styx, there are more predators in general. So you might want to go stone once you play Styx. You might want to go stone for the walls and the floors as well.
Yeah,
I'm anxious to see the brick build pieces. Yeah, I'm anxious to see the entire Prometheus DLC.
Yeah, I mean, oh my god, that's going to be so special.
Oh yeah. And yeah, we're definitely gonna go new characters, Prometheus. I mean, I reckon we will die a lot, but
Oh
hey,
yeah, especially with new
it,
characters.
yeah, it's all part of the all part of the game.
Yeah,
So
it's all part of the experience, and it makes for interesting gameplay, and it gives the peeps a lot of fun.
exactly. Anyway, moving on. Cleanup, more cleanup things here. Good. One
Yep.
year anniversary, new DLC, maybe. Let's hope. That's of course that would mean 5 weeks. One can only hope. In future content, there is some more mentions about the DLC and a couple of things which caught my attention there as well. But we'll get there eventually.
Okie dokie.
So Spelunking did new mission, new beginner mission basically. They increased the requirements for all the resources, approximately double for the higher tier resources and triple for the outside resources. And additional increase for resources the workshop picks provide bonuses for. This is to give the mission a bit more duration, although it's still shorter than most other missions, and give more reasons to explore and use the provided tools effectively. It was a speedrun mission, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe less of a speedrun. I mean, still, it wouldn't take long. I reckon you can still do it speed build style, like
Yeah,
no base.
they're just trying to entice you to stay in the map longer,
Yeah,
give you something more to do.
yeah. But yeah, I reckon you can still do it speed build style, as in you don't build a base. You maybe you put a bedroll in a cave, or you just keep on going through the night and breathe oxide rocks, things like that. Spelunking was way too easy. To an extent, Jason, don't forget it's in the start of the mission tree, so it is basically a beginner mission.
Yeah. And as a beginner mission, I actually thought it was really good because it um, explains an awful lot more to the new player as to, what's expected to be done and how you do it.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, still, it's a 15-day mission. You can complete it in like 15 minutes, but okay. Hey, Mike, welcome.
hey, Mike, how are you doing? Long time no see, buddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Let's see, next one. Enable shared DTC by default. Okay, thank you for the info.
Yeah.
So, added support for selecting dropship spawn group when first starting an open world prospect. Or basically the open world again, yep. World bosses now have the ability to respawn if the correct world start flag is set. Added the new F drop group data in the world data.h to make the drop group info accessible outside of level context. World boss respawn, as we have seen in the table above, only for open world and respawn only for open world, not for missions. So yeah, they needed a way to make sure they only respawned in the open world, so hence the flag.
Yeah, but things only yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
getting
Mike's been
confused now.
busy, but he's still keeping up on the fits. Good, good.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for the support.
Fix an editor crash that occurred when the Icarus map icon component tried to get world as it was tearing down. Not something we have suffered from because they fixed it, and if they hadn't fixed it, the new game code wouldn't have been uploaded to the production branch. So yeah. Another one about the spelunking mission. Removed the requirement to find the second cave entrance, and they better described the cave entrance in the quest objective. Yeah, well, we played the mission with our knowledge of the map. So yeah, find the second cave entrance. We knew it was like across. So yeah.
Yeah.
Removed unused world marker and query lookup after removal. Good. Renamed your rustic bench to rustic sitting bench to not confuse it with the actual crafting bench. Rustic crafting bench, and then you had a couch, which was named rustic bench. So
Yes.
craft a rustic bench in a rustic crafting bench. Now you have to craft a rustic sitting bench in the rustic crafting bench.
Why don't they just call it uh,
Or whatever it's called. They changed the name of the bench a couple of times as well.
yeah.
Is it tier? No, it's a tier 2 item, I think, right? Yeah, rustic decoration bench.
Yeah.
So you abbreviate it to craft it in the rustic bench. Yeah, but there's the one next to the table. No, I mean the rustic crafting bench.
Oh, but that's not what it says.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yep. And they also disabled weather damage on rustic furniture.
Nice.
Ergo,
So you can actually sit outside and know it's not going to get blown away by the wind.
exactly.
Excellent. Me like it that.
Well, we in missions we never use it, except
No.
for the mission where you have to use it. But
Yeah. No. We just don't bother. We did actually use it for the
yeah,
outpost.
yeah, we did some testing like the cabinets. Uh, do they get the alteration, the talent alteration with more slots? We did do some testing with that as well.
Yeah.
And yes, in my open world, I have a couple of rustic decorations there as well. A nice table, a couple of couches, some of them candles and stuff.
Yeah. I want to know when they're actually going to allow us to sit or, sit on these chairs that we're making or sit on the bench because there's no point in taking up all this space with a bloody seat when you can't even
True.
freaking sit on it.
Then they would need to implement a sit function, animation, and everything,
No,
and
they don't. They don't.
maybe
They
so.
just they
Oh yeah,
they just need to add an E button interact.
yeah, but it also needs an animation.
That's not that hard, serious, is it?
I don't know.
I mean, you'd think if they're
And
going to
if you
give us
can
all this
sit on it,
furniture, we could at least use it.
and if you sit on it, maybe get a slight buff for some, not really a well-rested buff, but a well-seated buff or something. I don't know.
Maybe just an ordinary rested buff would be.
No. They do it in Valheim indeed, Jason, but not here yet. You heal fast when you're sitting.
Yeah, because
I have not.
you're not using up stamina or.
Well, I haven't tested that out because when I need to heal, it means I'm in a fight. When I'm in a fight, I'm usually outside the base, so I can't sit down on a chair in the base.
Hmm.
I heal faster when eating. Well, that is in Icarus as well. Steaks are a great way to quickly heal up again.
Yep.
Anyway,
Prime meat's
they
another one.
added, yeah, they added a fix for the bug where outpost inventory wasn't being cleared correctly when player returned to hub via dropship. I've mentioned this before. Indeed, you leave by dropship, you select other loadout, you go back into your outpost, and you still had your original loadout. I have not tried it after today's update though, but I hope they fix it. Because the whole idea of leaving per dropship was to be able to get other equipment in. So far, I've done it with dropping in with another character, so I could use some other equipment. But it would be good if they indeed now fix that bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say they fix it, Jason, but like I said, I haven't tested it yet. Very easy to test though.
This is true.
Anyway, they fixed incorrect encoding on STUMG. Thank you for the info.
Yep.
And another spelunking change. They reduced the aluminum requirement and increased the iron requirement. This is to alleviate cases of bad RNG. Indeed,
Yeah, which is exactly what we had when we did that mission. How far did we have to travel to get one node of aluminium?
for spelunking, not that far.
Oh no, we didn't. No, what was it? We had to search for.
Not in spelunking, I think.
No, we did.
Nah, everything we needed was in these two caves.
Really?
Maybe some outside resources.
I was
But then
definitely.
again, the outside resources are fixed. It's only the ore nodes which are random. But yeah, the chances of iron spawning are way higher than the chances of aluminum spawning. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I can understand how people would be like, okay, I need X amount of aluminum, and especially now they've increased the amount you need, and then you have bad RNG, and then you can hardly find a node of aluminum. Yes, there
Yeah.
are a lot of caves in this area indeed, Jason, but this mission is mentioning two caves specifically, the ones on either side of the location where this pod, drop-off pod lands. Sure, uh, if you know the environment, you know you can go a bit north, a bit south, or whatever to grab to mine more caves. However, if you're a new player and you don't have a lot of knowledge about the map yet, you don't know this.
Yeah. Would you be good enough to take us through and discuss the next two whilst I take a
Yeah,
really quick bio break?
sure. So here's what I mentioned before. They temporarily disabled the buffalo from spawning on outposts altogether to prevent mounts from being accessible on outposts. Will be re-enabled once a stat to prevent juvenile spawning is added, and this stat added was mentioned before, where like, hey, they have now made it so juveniles don't spawn in outposts, which means buffalo should be in outposts again. Let's see. Fix a bug where a player would get dropped at group index 0 regardless of mission setup. Not sure what I mean with that. Resources will no longer regenerate when open world levels are reloaded. Unfortunately, but not unexpectedly. Let's see, some more tidying up. The mode selection, removed animation, resize button, added basic tool tips for the drop group attributes. What more? Added new world stats to disable juvenile spawning on a per prospect basis. See? To fix a bug where ensure would be thrown when trying to fetch best drop location for new outpost. Should be a different bullet point, but okay. Glad I fixed that as well. Fix an issue where the dropship inventory was not being checked for meta items in some code that was committed in preparation for the data decentralization patch. Glad I caught it now and not after the fact. Because, like I said before, I really hope they get the data centralization first time right, the whole dedicated server stuff. Get it right the first time, otherwise you will be getting a lot of you'll be getting lots of shit from the community. I can tell already.
I are back.
Okay, welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, we've done the fixes,
Okay.
and we can now continue towards the future content.
Alrighty.
So, the fourth bullet point here. So I read it and it says created most cave template in cave template asset. I was like, okay, sure, most cave, whatever. Later on, it's mentioned more. Looks like there's some special cave called Mo's Cave.
Okay.
And since it has a name, I was thinking it might be part of some mission, especially if it's more like story-based mission.
Oh wait, is
This
Mo?
prospector called Mo, and then he had
Yeah.
base or whatever in a cave or next to a cave, did something in a special cave, Mo's Cave.
Now that might actually lead to some more lore, considering that Mo was mentioned in Mo was left on the planet. Was Mo not the
The Chinese girl?
Chinese lassie who was
Uh,
left behind?
I don't know anymore. I would have to rewatch that video, that lore video. Yeah,
All right.
leftover from President Prospector, indeed, Jason.
Yeah.
And there will be mention. There will be mention of other prospectors as well later on in the future content of this future content. So
Good. Oh, I'm
let's
looking forward
see.
to adding to the lore
Yep,
of the game because it was leading up to some very interesting stuff, and then now we don't have anything else to follow it with. So,
exactly. Let's see.
yeah.
Adding Striker, flinch and death audio in events. Striker. Has that animal been mentioned before?
N-
Striker?
No.
I didn't think either. So also adding in Striker, the Striker aggro state and audio event. So hey, yet another animal. Cool.
Ooh. Okay. Delete
Uh,
legacy jungle lava wetlands. Swamp volcanic instead. Ooh.
yeah.
So there's
So it's
there's a
no
couple of
longer called
tips as to what's to
jungle.
come.
Yeah, it's no longer called jungle or lava or wetlands. There's now swamp or volcanic.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alrighty.
they set up the weather biome groups for Prometheus. Told you there is more about the Prometheus in this future content, and there
Yep.
will be even more.
Okay.
Uh,
Second pass on glacier mesh. Glaciers? We had that
yep,
mentioned before.
yeah, glacier, ice river,
Oh yes, of course.
ice waterfall. Sorry. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Here, create a cliffside for Mo's Cave in the lava biome. Place river flow points and ice flow points on frozen lake, etc. But yeah, here Mo's Cave is mentioned again. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think in here is like a left behind prospector who survived for a certain amount of time, more whatever. Or maybe at some point we will find out she's still alive. But hey,
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, I mean, if there's Moe's Caves, there's a possibility that she's still alive.
exactly.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh, let's see more interesting stuff here. Where was it? Quite a ways down. They're talking about added throwing knives across all tiers of basic knife options. The same for spears, throwing spears. So we might be getting special throwing knives and throwing spears.
Well, we can already
It's
throw
just
the spears and knives that we have,
true,
so
true. If you scroll up a bit, like 2-3 points, bullet points, you'll actually one bullet point up. Scroll up. You'll see the other way up. You'll see the added throwing knives bullet point. But looks
oh
like we might
yes.
get like special throwing knives and throwing spears. Okay.
Oh. I would assume they would need steel.
I don't know. Iron, stone. You can have stone
Well,
throwing knives as well.
yeah, but throwing knives tend to be made from steel, don't they?
True. The question is though, do you wanna spend steel on throwing on objects you're gonna throw away and possibly lose?
Personally, I don't throw any items,
The
so
same reason I never use steel bolts. I don't wanna waste steel on that.
yeah, yeah,
Anyway, 3 bullet points down now. Another quest step for the new Prometheus mission. There's like at least 2 bullet points talking about Prometheus missions.
good.
So initial work set up audio implementation for rock breaking feature. It is with the sledgehammer.
I'm sorry, where's this?
2 bullet points down.
Uh,
The
yeah,
rock breaking feature was mentioned last week as well in regards to the sledgehammer.
yeah, okay. Jason
Yeah,
says, I like all the veggies they're adding. Hopefully, we will get new recipes. Oh,
yep.
definitely, definitely.
Potatoes, tomatoes, pizzas.
Oh, what else? What else did we? What else did we decide that we could have? There was like a pudding
uh,
or something.
Milk buffaloes. Make cheese.
Goat's cheese. Goat's cheese. If you could get some
Goat
milk from
cheese.
chamois, you could get some goat's
Yeah.
cheese going.
But then you need to tame chamois, and they're not in the. They're not tameable at the moment.
Hmm.
Buffaloes you can tame. So yeah, buffalo milk. Make cheese. Make pizza. Pizza's grown on
No.
a plant would be awesome. It would, Jason. It would.
Yeah. Okay. What else have we
Okay.
got here?
So if you scroll down a bit, you see the bullet point about the throwing spears. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Fo-
Added throwing spears across all tiers of basic spear options.
Yeah, we call it the disc plants, Mike. Yeah. So we're gonna have a swamp quadruped animal, adding in full base setup for swamp quadruped. The AI setup, character and corpse blueprints, missing the text and custom skeleton mesh still, but added animation montage, and they haven't done the create region setup yet. So there is gonna be a swamp specific quadruped animal. It might be the needler or the stinger or whatever, but
Hmm.
talking about that, the needler, if that is the animal in the video on Rocketworks website, that one had 6 legs, I thought, didn't it?
I can't remember.
So that would mean
Can't say as I've noticed, to be
that would
honest.
then not the swamp quadruped then, but we'll see. Let's see. There's setting up various new tags and queries for Prometheus quests, plural. Added a new quest component which deals with item functions in quest item inventories. So they're adding basic mission steps for Prometheus story mission 4. So looks like indeed Prometheus is more a bit story based, more story, more lore.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here we go. Updated version 1 of the tomato crops.
Yep.
This will stop them from floating above the crop plots.
So yeah, indeed, we will be able to plant tomatoes. Good.
Good. Um,
Some mentioning about the B-Dog again. But yeah, we see
yeah,
that before.
I can imagine us calling that the bastard dog because it's a complete bastard when it kills you all the time. B-Dog Agro Audio and Event. Hmm.
So
Oh, here we
here's
go. Creating Saul's hideout
exactly.
pre-build base and adding Saul's communication device.
Told you, there's more mentioning of prospectors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saul's hideout, a pre-built base. It's also something which has been mentioned before, which they were looking into, like pre-built bases or partially built bases or whatever. Well, here we have Saul's hideout pre-built base. There was mentioning before about some communication device for missions.
Yeah.
Here you have Saul's communication device.
Yeah.
Uh, the last one implemented the swamp bird creature, including mount setup. So we're gonna get another mount. A swamp bird mount.
Cool.
It's a bird, so this is not gonna be the quadruped. So yet another swamp specific animal,
Mm-hmm.
which is gonna be a mount.
Nice.
Will it be able to fly though? That would be nice. Looking at Prometheus from above.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Oh yeah. Interesting. So waiting on corpse and skeleton skinning pass and fur groom. Fur, not feathers?
Sounds a bit like Archaeopteryx, doesn't it?
Kinda. Yeah, we do have wings on the statues, Jason, indeed. An alligator mount, Mike, a nice swamp bird. And as far as I know, an alligator, well, it can fly, but not very far. Usually straight down.
Hmm.
So, yeah, like a water mount. We have in Ark you have the big alligators as well, eh?
Yeah.
And they're fun to use. Yeah,
Oh, they're crocs
stop.
actually, not alligators.
In
Crocodilus.
Styx is the crocodile. In Ark,
It's
let me see. Can I?
crocodilus.
This one here. Let me find it. Sarco.
Sarco, that's it. Yeah, crocodilus family.
I have no idea. I'm no biological fellow. Well, I'm biological. I'm not artificial, as far as I know. It might be my programming to think that I'm biological, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Mike in the chat says bear mount would be cool. Make them real hard to train though. Yeah, you'd have to do an awful lot of bear
Yep.
of dancing with that, I reckon.
Oh yeah.
Dancing with a bear?
Well, we're getting we're getting our experience there, and we're getting relatively good at it. So yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. It just depends on how much stamina you've got as to how long you can do it for.
True. But then again, all you need, I mean, you don't need much stam. And you just sit, and just before it hits you, you jump to the side. And then you turn around. You stay in the same location.
No, you can't do that.
Oh yeah, you can.
Can you?
Oh yeah, you can. Been there, done that.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
Because it charges at you and it moves a bit past you. So yeah.
Okay.
Indeed, Jason, as long as you don't run out of arrows or your knife breaks. Well, when you run out of arrows and your knife breaks, you have to. You can no longer stay in the same spot. You better make your way towards a water body, because you can swim faster than a bear. So go to a deep water body, and then you can outswim it and de-aggro it. Fun thing about bears, though, if you long range hit them and they can't see you, I've seen it multiple times. They like run kinda in your direction, but then they're like, I can't see you. Then they stand up on their hind legs and look around and like, where did it come from? And it's fun. You shoot him, and then you run away. Make sure he doesn't see you, and you can basically keep on pestering him till he dies.
Yeah.
But as soon as he sees you, oh, he's gonna come at you.
Oh yeah. As soon as he sees you, he's gonna. Yeah. If you can't outrun him, you're lunch.
Yeah. And de-aggroing a bear is harder than de-aggroing a wolf. A wolf loses sight of you pretty quickly, so you can outrun and de-aggro him pretty easily.
Yeah.
Bear, you
A
need longer
bear is
distance and
faster.
more cover between you and the bear, and indeed, he's faster than you. So you, like I said, your best bet is find a big body of deep water, because you can outswim him easily, and then you can create some distance between you and it.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason says, "You dead, me dead, anyways."
Hmm,
Well, hmm.
Go for the water, my friend. Go for the war.
Yeah. If you want a couple of pointers, you should look to the All About Bears video because tips and tricks for dealing with bears are in that.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the update.
This is, yeah, that brings us to the end of the update. There isn't any more now. We're done.
Yeah. So we can go check out the open world a bit.
Yeah, we certainly can. I'm going to make people feel a little bit queasy here because I'm going to scroll up kind of fast. There we go. Yeah, so that there is the update for you peeps. Week 47. Can you believe it? 47 weeks already. Really?
Yeah.
Seriously? Wow.
Not counting the beta weekends, almost a year already.
Yeah. I mean, like, whoa. Well, the beta weekends carried on for 14 weeks.
I don't recall. Didn't really keep track of time.
Oh, I did. I did. They ran for 14 weeks, so that would take us to week 51.
The only part I kept track of time-wise during beta weekends was like, how long till the next beta weekend?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Am I gonna
make the maze of it. Like, don't sleep the entire weekend. Just play for 48 hours straight.
Yeah,
Things like that.
I was just gonna say that. What am I doing this weekend? Absolutely nothing. Am I gonna be able to do it for 48 hours straight? No. So let's do this. We'll play on Friday night as soon as it drops. We'll download it. We'll play it Friday night until we drop, and then we'll get up on Saturday and we'll game all the way through until it disappears on the Sunday.
Yeah, like 48 hours straight was hard. I didn't do it that much, but yeah, like you said, as soon as it drops, download. play till you drop, go to bed. 4 hours later, back at the game,
Yeah,
play for another 20 hours straight,
yeah,
take a couple of hours sleep. Like 6 hours later, you're back at the game,
yeah,
all the way till it's like, hey, the server is down. Shite. Okay,
yeah,
let's see. Do we have any weekend left? Not really. Ah, well, so be it.
yeah, yeah. Shite.
Yeah. It was great fun, Jason, the beta weekends. Definitely.
Oh my God, the beta weekends, they were so different. And actually, compared to the missions that people have now, they were an absolute nightmare for difficulty.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if you're
oh
talking
my
about repetitive,
God, talk about a challenge. I mean, if you go back and watch the beginning of the Styx Styx missions in the Styx playlist, right? You'll see us play the Styx map. Oh, actually, no, there's a playlist dedicated for beta Styx missions, right? When we tested the beta and I live streamed it, right?
yeah,
That was a doddle compared to how difficult the beta weekends were. I mean,
beta
beta
weekends for
weekend 1
Icarus,
was
don't
so
forget,
much fun. Beta weekend 2,
especially the especially the first couple of beta weekends. Every time you had to start all over again with
yeah,
your character. Your character got reset. So you had to
yep,
level your character from level 0. If
yep.
you're talking about repetitive.
Oh my god! I mean, yeah. Talk about getting completely fucked over every other weekend. We would game one weekend, and you could only get to level 20 to start with
Uh, you no, you could go to
because
29er, I believe.
well,
Didn't you?
beta weekend 2 they upped it to level 30.
Uh,
Beta
we we never
weekend
we never got
1,
the fabricator.
no,
You never were able to get a fabricator.
no, but
You had a
beta
level cap.
beta weekend 1 you could level to level 20. Beta weekend
Uh,
2, I think
no,
it
you could level to 19. Couldn't even get the machining bench.
no, what would happen was it would allow you to get to level 20 and it would say that you could open the machining bench, but you couldn't actually unlock it.
Exactly, it wasn't there yet. But yeah, like
Um,
now with the stakes, hey, sure, we started at level 0.
yeah,
However, the second mission, we started at level, I don't know, 10, 15, whatever.
yeah,
We didn't have to start each mission at level 0.
yeah. And the thing is that I actually remember on beta weekend 2, right? I actually sat and wrote down the names of the talents that I had managed to get that I really liked because it was so long in between one gaming session and the next, you couldn't remember what talents or blueprints you were using.
Yep.
And I actually sat and wrote them all down so that on beta weekend 3, I knew what to get in order to try and get used to a character. Because otherwise, you had no chance of remembering what you had from one weekend to the next.
Well,
Because they were every
look at it
two
from the bright
weeks.
side. You did learn what's the best order of blueprints was to unlock.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. And you learnt that really, really quickly.
Yep.
So
It
the
was
the
for
th-
testing. Yeah, indeed, it was.
yeah. But the thing is that like each beta weekends, there were 7 weekends in total. Each beta weekend was every 2 weeks, right?
Every other weekend.
Every other weekend. And so with 7 weekends, that's 14 weeks, right?
Hmm.
And every single weekend, not with exception, actually, I have to be honest and say, with exception to beta weekend 6 and 7, whereupon our characters persisted. So you actually started Beta Weekend 7 with a fully loaded character. That was nice.
Um, to the all the way to level 39er.
Yeah.
Like you still don't have the fabricator. I believe it wasn't in all the beta weekends the fabricator.
No, no.
It only became available after release.
hmm I mean, the thing is that you could hit level 40 and you level up to level 40 and it would say, "Oh, fabricator unlocked," and then you'd go to the blueprint tree, and you couldn't click on it because it
Nope.
was grayed out. But there you
But
go.
it was fun the beta weekends, definitely. Definitely developed a taste for the game there.
Oh yeah, I love the beta weekends. And do you remember the weekends 3 and 4? I think where the
3 was where you had to take down the
wolf
mammoth.
we had wolf. No, that was, yeah, that
Was
was
it 4?
3.
That was 3. Yeah.
Um, we had wolf apocalypse and bear apocalypse on. Oh, it
Well,
was 4 and 5 because week 2 and 3 was the mammoth mission.
yeah.
Week,
3 was the last one I tried solo, and I was like, yeah, no.
yeah,
Starting by the weekend 4, I was in a group.
yeah, and then the thing about that was the fact that the wolf apocalypse. Talking about that, you literally couldn't travel 100 yards without getting attacked by a wolf. And
Yep.
that would bring upon
With
wolf
packs of
number
wolves.
2 and sometimes even wolf number 3, you guaranteed you're dead.
Oh yeah.
So you would
Getting attacked by a
so
whole
you
pack of wolves in the
s-
Arctic. Good luck.
so you would respawn. No, I'm just talking about like the spawn point where you spawn in Lima 12 on the island where we build on the south side of the
Yeah.
island, right? So you'd spawn at the drop ship. You'd be lucky if you even got back to base. Never mind, continue actually playing the game before you were attacked and killed by, guess what? Another set of wolves.
Yeah.
So you'd respawn and then you'd get attacked, and and because I don't know, you didn't have enough bloody fur for a bed. You've got all these emergency drop pods all over the place,
Yep.
right? Because you can't get back to your base, never mind continue the game. And week 5, the week after that, you could
Bears.
easily kill the wolf, but now you're getting attacked by bears all the time, and you couldn't travel 50 yards without meeting a fucking bear. And that's when
Yeah.
I learned to creep, to crouch
Crouch.
everywhere. I traveled the entire map crouched because you couldn't get past the bloody bears. It was hilarious.
Yeah, they definitely dialed down the amount of bears after Beta Weekend 5.
Oh my
It was
god.
unplayable.
Oh my god. That I think actually Beta Weekend 5, and
Like the hardest one.
I hate to say this, right? I actually got so annoyed at not being able to play the game for the amount of freaking bears. I played something else for the rest of the weekend because I'm like, I can't even travel 10 steps before I'm getting killed by another bloody bear.
It was the hardest Beta Weekend.
Oh my god, it was impossible. I give up at that point. I have to say it, that the game was unplayable for me.
It
I mean,
was tough.
it
Definitely, it was tough. It
it
was
was,
doable, but barely.
yeah, you had to be in a team,
Barely, you know? Pun
you
intended.
know. But yeah, the beta weekends were a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Anyway, uh, what do you say? A couple of minutes and then we do some gameplay?
What time is it? 23:14. Let's go for 23:30, half past the hour.
So
15
15
minutes
minutes from
from
now.
now. Yes.
Righto.
Alrighty. We're going to wrap this up. Finally. We're nearly running it to 2 hours, so it's about time. That's actually quite a long one for this, but it's been well worth it. That's a really decent update. I'm looking forward to getting some gameplay in. So, having said that, I'd like to say thank you to Mike and Jason and who else was it?
You're welcome.
Everybody who's lurking. Like, I kind of have a feeling that it's me again is sitting in the background, but there we go. You're welcome, Jason. Absolutely not a problem. We love to entertain, and we will see you in about 15 minutes for live gameplay. We'll probably be gaming in Cornet's Outpost.
Open world, actually. Yeah.
Open world. Yeah, open world outpost slash outpost, whatever. But until then, it's good night from me,
And good night from her.
and we will see you in about 15 minutes. Remember, peeps, it's a dangerous world out there. Take care of yourselves and each other. Good night.